Jerusalem, 1st century. Imagine a city of polished white stone, gleaming under a merciless sun, yet covered by an invisible shadow, fear. The air smells of incense and the blood of sacrifices, mixed with the sweat of thousands of pilgrims. But this isn't just a religious center. It is a geopolitical powder keg.
The elders suspect us. We must act now. I have the silver. Is the path clear? Yes, but we must be shadows.
On one side, the Sanhedrin and High Priest Caiaphas, desperately trying to maintain order so Rome won't destroy the temple. On the other, Pontius Pilate, a governor who does not hesitate to use violence to crush any hint of insurgency.
The flame guides us.
We must be cautious.
The shadows protect.
Hope endures.
In the middle of this chaos, a radical group emerges called the Way. They aren't just religious dissenters. To Rome, they are seditious. To the Sanhedrin, they are the trigger for national annihilation. Why were the followers of Jesus so dangerous? It wasn't because of their theology, but because of Roman lex. By proclaiming a new king, they committed crimen majestatis, direct treason against Caesar.
You thief, give it back!
Liar, he did nothing!
Mind your business, Roman lapdog! You pay for this!
The Sanhedrin knew that if the thoribos, the social tumult, spiraled out of control, the Roman legions would march. They needed someone who could act where Roman soldiers couldn't. Someone who knew the law, spoke the languages, and possessed the fury needed to purge the streets. They sent Saul. Saul of Tarsus was no ordinary soldier. He was the hacker of the ancient system. Educated by the master Gamaliel, he was a prodigy of the law. But he had a distinct advantage that made him untouchable: Roman citizenship by birth. Saul was the elite 1%. He could move between marble palaces and the slums of Jerusalem. He was cosmopolitan, fluent in sophisticated Greek, and fueled by the zeal of a fundamentalist. With a network of informants and the backing of the temple police, he began invading homes, dragging men and women to the whip. He wasn't just punishing, he was trying to save Israel from a Roman military response he knew was imminent.
Your philosophies are incomplete.
How so, Saul?
They lack the divine foundation.
What evidence? The risen Christ!
The final mission, Damascus, a perilous journey through dirt roads infested with bandits. Saul travels with letters of authority, surrounded by armed Levites. He is at the peak of his power. Then, the sky tears open. A light, brighter than the midday sun, strikes him to the ground. "Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?" The man who saw everything in black and white is now plunged into total darkness, blind, humiliated. The hunter must now be led by the hand like a child into the very city he intended to purge. For 3 days in Damascus, Saul sat in absolute silence. Imagine the mind of a fanatic when he discovers he was wrong. Every face he ordered to be lashed, every family he destroyed, now haunted his blindness. He wasn't just losing his sight, he was losing his identity. The executioner Saul was dead. He discovered that the peace of Rome and the zeal of the temple were mere dust before the voice he heard on the road. Many think Saul began preaching immediately. They are wrong. He vanished. He retreated into the deserts of Arabia for years. In the silence of the dunes and under the desert stars, he had to rebuild 30 years of theology. He was no longer an agent of the Sanhedrin. He was becoming the architect of a new world. He was rereading the prophecies, not with the eyes of a judge, but with the heart of a survivor. When he emerged from the desert, he was no longer Saul, he was Paul. When Paul emerged from the Arabian desert, he didn't just have a message, he had a plan. He looked at the Roman Empire and saw a biological system. The roads were the veins. The Greek language was the common breath.
Ο δρόμος προς τη Ρώμη είναι εδώ. Αγοράστε τώρα. Εν καθυστερείτε, ο καιρός περνά. Αυτές οι τιμές δεν θα διαρκέσουν.
Paul didn't waste time in small villages. He targeted the hubs: Ephesus, Corinth, Philippi.
Move it! Cargo for the ships!
3 denarii for the emperor. The unexamined life is not worth living.
These were the nerve centers of trade and ideas. If he could win the cities, the empire would follow.
People of Rome, hear this truth. There is neither Jew nor Greek, slave nor free, for we are all one. This promise is for you, your children, and all who are afar. Embrace it with open hearts.
The message from the elders. Guard it well. I will see it delivered by the roads of Rome.
He wasn't just a preacher, he was a master of logistics, using the very infrastructure built by Caesar to dismantle the worship of Caesar.
This empire casts a long shadow, but we will not be silenced. Look up! Freedom rises, even from beneath the heel of tyranny.
But the mission was illegal. Every city was a trap. This is where Paul's secret weapon came into play, his Roman citizenship. In a world where 99% of people had no rights, Paul was untouchable by local law. Imagine the scene in Philippi. He is beaten, bleeding, and thrown into a dungeon. The next morning, the officials are terrified.
The prisoner's escape
Why?
is upon us.
Because Paul
We must
reveals his
warn the
status.
consul.
I am a Roman
must forget
citizen,
this.
he says.
The grace of the Lord Jesus Christ to be with your spirit.
Paul, we were wrong. We bowed.
Suddenly, the oppressors become the ones
Give
breaking
up
the
lightness,
law.
we implore you. Your faith humbles our empire.
Paul, I publicly apologize. The charges against you were false. Your rights were violated. I take full responsibility. You are free to go.
He used his legal shield to force the Roman government to protect the very movement they were sent to hunt.
Brothers and sisters, the Lord is our fortress. His protection surrounds us. These symbols of Rome's power now guard his word. We stand firm in faith, undeterred.
Make way! Clear the path! Out of the way, you lot!
Move aside, now!
To build a global brand, you need skin in the game. Paul's life became a catalog of disasters. Three shipwrecks. 5 times he received the 40 lashes from the synagogue, stoned and left for dead in Lystra. Most men would break, but Paul understood the psychology of the masses. In the ancient world, scars were credentials. Every wound on his back was proof of his conviction.
Brothers and sisters, I bear these scars for Christ. This is my skin in the game.
Your sacrifice humbles us, Paul.
He wasn't selling a comfortable religion. He was selling a truth worth dying for. His suffering was his most powerful marketing tool. While he was imprisoned, Paul did something revolutionary. He wrote. He created a network of letters, epistles, that functioned like a decentralized operating system for a new society.
These symbols match the visions,
Yes, and the prophecy of a new order.
but the code here is complex.
We must decode it to proceed. Agreed. This changes everything.
These weren't just letters. They were management manuals, legal arguments, and psychological warfare against the status quo.
The message must endure, Luke. Copy these words from the first scroll, word for word. This is how the network grows. Preserve it faithfully.
He was building a kingdom of the mind while sitting in chains, ensuring that even if he died, the network would survive.
Paul's management manuals, structured with precision on papyrus, guided communities with disciplined wisdom. Each bullet point a directive, each line a step towards order and understanding.
Finally, the road led to Rome, the capital of the world. But the city was in flames. The Emperor Nero, a paranoid madman, needed a scapegoat for the Great Fire. He chose the Christians. Paul was cast into the Mamertine prison, a lightless, damp stone pit near the Roman Forum. Here, the two powers of the world finally met. Nero, the man who had everything and was losing his mind. And Paul, the man who had nothing but his faith and was perfectly at peace. The philosopher against the tyrant. Year 67 AD, the Tre Fontane outside the city walls. As a Roman citizen, Paul was spared the cross. He would face the sword. As the blade gleamed in the sun, Paul didn't look back with regret. He had fought the good fight. The sword fell. The head of the hunter was severed. The Roman guards thought they had finished a troublesome rebel. They were wrong. They had only released a message that would outlive their empire by millennia.
I will purge this heresy with fire and sword, and yet love builds where hate destroys. Your words are poison to the faithful.
The greatest of these is love.
They sent him to hunt Christians. They sent him to protect the status quo. Instead, he hacked the empire from the inside out. Today, the temples of Nero are ruins. The legions are ghosts. But the words written by a prisoner in a dark hole still govern the moral conscience of billions. Saul of Tarsus began as a weapon of the state, but he ended as the architect of the Western world.